Well, so we have to do the newspapers. Good morning to you, Mama.
Morning.
I love your outfit. What color is this?
I'm not sure.
Okay, say ivory.
Ivory?
Ivory.
So this is ivory.
Well, saying it 3 times. Ivory.
So what's this color?
Oh, so we dear orange.
Okay.
Ivory. Say it again 3 times. Ivory. Mama, say ivory.
So this is ivory. I hear this is ivory.
Ivory.
Somebody else would say something else. Somebody else would say maybe cream.
To tell you
Somebody else would say peach.
To tell you that. Oh no, this is not peach.
Ah, okay.
Oh, it's off crowd. Peach is almost. It's not peach. All right, so let's forget about colors. This is what we do: newspapers and what is topical.
Yeah.
And what has caught your attention over the last 12 hours? I mean, forget about what
I think it's the GRA. You do all.
Yeah, they've been around, eh?
With the pin.
Do you have a pin?
I think I should.
Yeah, I think
I should.
Not that I think, I do.
I think I should. I think it's sent
I use it very
me
often, so that's okay.
via text. But this is my challenge with them.
If you can recall, just go there and then just.
But the point is, why should I go there?
Or you can call; they'll trace your PIN number for you.
Aha.
Then you get it stored on your phone if you don't use it often.
The point is that those of us in like formal work, where we know that our taxes, at least payee tax is paid, right? Aha. Don't they already generate those pins with what we?
No.
So this is different.
Yeah, you have to go there.
Can they use?
You have to go to their outlet and they have to generate it for you.
Usually,
you will get it.
Can they use the details that comes through the various companies and organizations to generate the pins for staff, so that they concentrate rather on people who are not in formal work?
I think maybe that's a good way
because
to
instead of saying that all of us should come to your office,
yeah,
I mean, it would be impossible for some people to walk to your office.
True,
I think you should have a more creative way.
Because this is how I got to do it. I was going to incorporate a company.
It's because of your private business.
So they said I needed to have a pin, I think some years ago. So I got to have it. I wanted to incorporate another one. I had to go. Anytime I was going to be used for a director for somebody's small company, you have to recall your PIN. So when you have it, it's an advantage.
I think they should.
I think the whole idea is to make sure that maybe the mason who puts together your house for you is having a PIN, so that that person could be traced somewhat. But I think it's a good step. It's just a.
I have a challenge. I don't know. We're working towards a Ghana card, correct? That's our national identification. Shouldn't we be synchronizing? Shouldn't there be a way of merging all these so that you don't individually do this and go and do this and go and do? Because the PIN, they say, it doesn't matter if you're not Ghanaian. Once you do work in this country, then you must have a PIN. See? Yeah.
So I think that all the things that will solve this is the Ghana card. And then we can draw the conclusion that when you get the Ghana, when the Ghana card comes into full gear, it will make all these identification numbers and TIN numbers redundant. What do you think? Because once you have it, it becomes a central database for everything.
Yeah.
All your details will be there where you live.
We're replicating a lot of things.
Well, the Ghana card is not coming, so people have to do something.
Oh, Charlie.
When it's supposed to come.
But GRA, I think you got our attention with this. You really got our attention. I think people got scared with the fact that you can't get passports, you can't do certain serious transactions if you don't have the PIN. And that's got everybody on the edge now. So the market woman selling tomatoes, the person selling pepper, the person selling the foods, everybody needs a PIN.
Ideally, yes.
But I agree that they need to do a lot more education. So what is in it for me if I have a PIN?
But it will also mean that if I don't have a need for a passport, which many Ghanaians don't have a need for, then I would not. And then the other one is a driver's license and the other one. So
it's not enough to scare people with the fact that you can't get this, you can't get that if you don't have a PIN, because some people may never even want those things that you're using to scare them.
Yep, true. I agree with you. Somebody may be an artisanal person, maybe a welder, may never get to have a passport, would not have a need for it. That's the whole point. Well, we'll see how it goes. It's a good step. A step in the right direction. I hope that we speed it up.
My only fear, though, is that we don't start this, we start off with all the energies, and then midway
kind of fizzle out.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they've been at this for some time
and then
now,
we come back another time.
I guess the momentum is good too.
Well, send us your messages. Apologies, yesterday we didn't have you know, how do you call this? It's not a tab. We didn't have the phone with your messages
the
on
WhatsApp
it.
platform.
But I got a message, but you didn't add your name. Says nobody has ever wished you happy birthday before.
Oh.
And I really wanted to. Your birthday was 2nd April. Unfortunately, you didn't include your name. Your number ends with, let's see, because I really want you to send so that I can wish you. Your number ends with 8851. Belated birthday to you. Please send me your name so we can wish you.
8851, belated happy birthday.
They said you can't say belated and happy birthday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So belated birthday.
Okay, let's stick to the newspapers. Let's do the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page of the Graphic, the conversation we've been having, tax identification becomes operational. People without numbers can't access services. Comes with a picture of Emmanuel Kofi Nti, Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Local banks seek president's intervention in minimum capital demand. I'm not sure the president would want to go there, but I'll read the angle to you. It's on page 16. Tariff reduction takes effect. Electricity consumers enjoy cuts from April 1. But I thought they said don't expect it in the first week. You can expect it in the second week. Well, story on page 3. Here we go. It says consumers of electricity have started enjoying the reduction in tariffs announced by the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission in March this year. I don't know. The tariff reduction, which took effect from April 1 this year, was to have residential consumers enjoy a 17.5% reduction, while non-residential consumers were to experience a 30% reduction. So if you've started experiencing it, let us know. Send us a WhatsApp message or a regular SMS message. Let's go to page 16 now in the Daily Graphic newspaper on the story. Okay. So some indigenous universal banks have made a passionate appeal to the president to intervene to ensure that the Bank of Ghana extends its December 2018 deadline for local banks to recapitalize from 120 million Ghana cedis to 400 million Ghana cedis to next 4 years. And according to the banks, which have come together to form an association christened the Association of Indigenous Universal Banks, the period required by the central bank for them to increase their minimum capital by the close of the year was too short and posed a risk to their business. Did they name the banks here? I don't see it in the story, but it continues on page 26. You can read all about it. But I thought, instead of 4 years, I really doubt. Why don't you merge, you know, come together and form one huge bank? You could be overtaking all those foreign banks in the country instead of trying to appeal to the president. I doubt if you would want to intervene in this. This is a purely regulatory matter. It's the Bank of Ghana's job. And if they think that 400 million Ghana cedis will do the job, then that's what they will stick with.
Yeah, true. Yeah. And in order not to be priced or perhaps crowded out of the competition, I guess your suggestion about making sure there's a measure as far as the shareholders of those banks are is the best way to go. Come together. Because if you're big, you become competitive. Exactly. Yeah. I know people want to keep their investments and their names. People want their names and people want to give the businesses to their children and they want to have control over it. Yeah. Okay, back page of the Daily Graphic. Preserve Etiwa Range Forest Reserve. Wildlife Society. The Ghana Wildlife Society has added its voice to the call on the government to abandon plans to release the Etiwa Range Forest Reserve to the Chinese to mine bauxite. The society explained that the long-term cost of mining bauxite in the reserve would outweigh the short-term economic benefits. The rest of the story is on the back page of the Ghanaian Times. Also, Youth Employment Agency rolls out exit plan for health workers module. Story by our friend Sebastian Siam says the Youth Employment Agency has launched an exit strategy for 19,000 staff under its community health workers module. The plan will enable the staff who are signed onto a 2-year contract under the YEA to take up formal nursing
courses, or any other entrepreneurial venture of their choice. As part of the strategy, the YEA will conduct skills gap assessment of the beneficiaries and identify their interests as a guide to help them choose a career path, either in mainstream nursing or other trades. I only hope that these 19,000 all have a passion to work in the area of health, so that it's not just because they don't have jobs, they're tied to doing this because that's what's available. Because when it comes to health, I think, well, pretty much with any other thing, you need people who are passionate about what they do. One of the conversations that we will have on the show this morning is to take a critical look at mental health in Ghana, the facilities that we have taking care of mental patients. But what we're going to do is not just to talk about it, but we have a group of psychiatric nurses coming down from the UK. So what they've done is to visit some of our facilities, and we're going to put it side by side with what they experience and what they do back in the UK. Eventually what they want to do, Roland, is to come down and come and work in the wards. So join the local staff to work. And one of the challenges that I put to them is that, listen, if you look at the environments where some of our nurses are working in, then you can understand.
Yeah, true.
I wonder if they will be able to do it. Withstand, go to work every day, like Ankafo or Accra Psychiatric Hospital or Pantai. And one of the things they've said is that, so a nurse goes to work, do the regular, if you have to give the patients medicine at so and so time, so and so. And then that's it. When they are done, they just go and sit by the desk and wait till closing time. They are no creative, they are not engaging the patients in any creative ways, you know, not anything like what they've seen and what they've experienced there. So hopefully we can get something going and then we can change. But we've got some statistics also from the Mental Health Authority to share with you as we have this conversation. It will be good.
Yeah, definitely a great conversation. It's something many of us are familiar with as far as mental health care is concerned.
Yeah.
It's a concern also for many people who ideally have had some interactions with such facilities. And the public perception and the prejudice we have resulting in the stigma to these hospitals is a great concern, not only for the personnel, but also for the public as well.
It's true.
Because ideally we should be getting some care, mental health care, not necessarily because we're insane or something like that.
Yeah.
You could be depressed.
Oh, we all have one mental issue or the other, well, except that we don't know.
Well, usually that's what we're told.
Yeah. No, but if you look at the things that constitutes mental health, then you know you're suffering from one or the other.
True.
But it's a place that we don't like to go. Families don't even like to take out their family members after they've been healed from whatever it is.
They don't want to
that
take them back and
through.
integrate them into the homes.
Exactly. So there are so many things associated with it.
Maybe the way we all behave here, we all could be.
We think we're normal, but we're not.
Because sometimes you see Derek or Sam, and even you or myself, the way sometimes it gets heated. You know that there's a mental health problem around.
Massa, we go off sometimes. We all do. Don't deny it. We all do. This conversation is
for example,
for all
Fred Potofi, the way he's down, you know, there's a mental.
Hey, Roland, now you're going to certain areas. Let's do that. What paper do you have? Daily Guide?
Daily Guide.
Okay.
I have the Daily Guide. It has on the front page, Mahama begged us for military base. And then we have Kinte named after Nana. And Anyido who reports to CID. We did this extensively prior to them going back to the CID. Mama Viosobo just spoke to lawyer Victor Kojoga Adawudu. And Metro Mass sacks 50 for lateness. And 50 workers were sacked by the board chairman.
Oh, the board chairman himself.
Yeah, so he sacked them. He told them they should write their names. And after they wrote their names, said they should go home.
Okay, that's not a sack.
Well, I don't know.
Probably be suspended.
And I'm thinking, they should have some code of conduct. So that's
sure they will.
You can't just sack people whether they're late or not.
I don't believe it's a sack.
Well, I told that.
Unless the conditions say if you report late to work,
then you'll be sacked.
Then
because
sacked.
usually I know the first time you're late, you would not be, or you're seen to be late. You could be late consistently, but the first time you're noticed by the authorities that you're late. And the story says that some 50 workers of the Metro Mass were yesterday asked to go home after they reported to work late. And some of the staff Daily Guide gathered reported to work as late as 10:30 a.m., leaving their post vacant and disrupting the company's activities. And the board chairman of the company was said to have been infuriated by the lackadaisical attitude of some of the staff, compelling him to take action to serve as deterrent. And some of the workers who heard about the fate of their colleagues decided not to show up at work at all. And the board is expected to institute some sanctions against the staff who are expected to resume work today.
But I have a question, Roland. Why is the board chair acting directly? Where are the people in between? Where are the people in the chain?
And I have one or two friends there. So yesterday I sent a text. Of course, they answered late. And the question I asked was, why is the board chairman performing the duty of management?
Yeah.
And I think that is, sometimes, and the board is headed by a politician.
But if he's asking the workers to go home, then he should equally ask his managers to go home because they're not doing their job.
Yeah, so
I don't see any board chair anywhere directly acting and
unless
asking.
Maybe it's your own company and you're the board chair, so you decide to take matters into your home. But ideally, in corporate structures, the board is supposed to be for strategic direction.
Well, he's got a permanent office there?
Maybe he came for a board meeting or something, because it's not been stated though. And I kept saying, why would the board chair even rather perhaps could have whispered in the ear of the managing director and say, you let them go home. It will be seen as a managing director taking the instructions.
Maybe it was a directive by the board chair, but he didn't issue the directive himself. I don't, what am I even saying?
I'm told that yesterday, before I even saw the story, because I saw the headline somewhere, so I asked, what's happening at Metro Mass? And he said the board chair asked them, say, make them go home. Well, I said, so now the board chair is performing management
what he's actually done, you think you would really perform it. What you've done is to expose your team. And how the work is done there. This is not good.
On page
Let the structures work.
On page 7, though, John Benjamin mocks Prophet Obinim. I don't know whether you know about pictures now being circulated.
I heard.
It says the immediate past United Kingdom High Commissioner to Ghana, John Benjamin, has joined the social media campaign that seems to make him mockery of Ghanaian self-acclaimed prophet.
I heard somebody ask him a question.
Obinim. And we're told that in his Twitter, it says, okay, so this is what he posted. He said, yes, I stuck an Obinim sticker on my headlight last night, and when I woke up this morning, I had 2 heads, but no brain. And then there's this picture of Shatawale. They said they pasted the picture of Angelo Obinim on his face, and then his mouth shrunk, his nose. He looked very handsome in the Photoshop. And then there's this one about the breasts. The breast, the first one, before the pasting of the sticker was a shrunk breast, very thin, you know what, the way women like it, not very nice at all. But then one that was transformed after the sticking of the sticker, and
it turned out to be one that you like.
Not me.
But you said you men.
I said no. I didn't. I said women. I withdraw that statement. Men like. Okay, so I'm being shown by it. That's it. Mama V. Oh, child president.
I want my viewers to appreciate what you're saying. I saw another one with the president.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Oh, I thought that was the only one who saw. Okay, so tell me about your experience.
Suddenly, his hair looked like called Derek Sam's own.
Yeah, punk. Yes. He has the latest craze now, punk. Yeah.
But have you seen the sticker? Is this a joke or there's actually a sticker
he does
that makes people transform?
No, he preaches on his television show, or Ice TV or something like that, and they give testimonies about the stickers, how he appears in them. The first one usually was a dream, and this one, the stickers, when they transform. And the other one, the one I watched this weekend, was Lotto numbers. Some of them won to the tune of some 58,000 Ghana cedis.
Wow.
Yeah. Old million, 500 million.
So where do you get a sticker? You have to go
from
to
the church. Yeah.
I have friends there. Yeah.
And
he was very nice to me the last time we had a conversation.
And when I watched the Lotto number one,
so what, he gave the numbers out and asked people to go and
yes, but that one, it wasn't live. He took it off. So people rarely won. The members came testifying. And when I saw that
if you got a number, would you?
When I got that episode, I think this Sunday I want to visit Obinim.
Okay.
So
why do you have to wait till Sunday?
I think that's when he worships all. or maybe I'll look for during the day, during the week, prophecy times.
So what exactly do you want from him? Lotto numbers?
Oh, essentially. So I'll tell you my experience when I come back.
Okay.
How my life will be transformed following.
I need a sticker. The only sticker I have on the back of my car is I don't bribe the police.
I know.
Yeah. I know. And that sticker should actually be in front so that they see it before.
No. Well.
But I think it's good at the back. So I probably can put an Obinim sticker in front of it.
Yeah, I think on your windscreen.
Yeah. But when the vehicle transforms,
it will change into a Lamborghini or something. Your car.
No, that would be too posh for me.
Okay, so which one do you want?
Like a Cayenne would be good.
Posh Cayenne.
Yeah.
You're dreaming of that car. So the lady's Elantra will change into. It's an Elantra, right?
Yes, it is.
Will change into a Porsche Cayenne 2018.
But I guess, you have to believe.
And
you have to believe.
Stick it into your house. The next you'll be at a drink or
no, I don't want my house to change.
Okay.
I love my house just the way it is.
We have to begin sticking it on roads and places that we want change.
Yeah.
So that the next day when we wake up, the whole Accra will be sanitized.
Yeah. I've heard somebody screaming, motorway, yeah. Oh my God, if you have a testimony to share, we will love to hear it. Yeah, on the stickers,
please let us know.
We'll love to hear it. Let's do the Finder newspaper. It's got no sticker. It's got stories on the front page. The Finder, front page of the Finder, Ghana-US trade hits $1.7 billion as Ghana increased export by 133.50% in 2017.
Do you know, as you go on, do you know how much the US imports from China? Over 500 billion US dollars.
Well, that's what Mr. Trump is trying to cut down.
Stop, yeah.
Yeah.
500 billion. And we're saying what, 1 billion?
Oh, but you can't compare us to those two.
That's what we say all the time, right?
Yeah. Yes, but the reality is
that's the reality.
That's the reality.
The reality is that's the reality.
We're so insignificant when it comes to the world in terms of trade and our exports. We're insignificant. We have to face it.
Seriously.
So let's stick to the rest of the stories on the front page of the Finder. You can't do business with government without tin, GRA warns. Niger seeks transit trade refuge in Ghana, and then Information Minister tout 30 achievements of government. Also, 2 arrested over attack on Eric Opoku NDC members. So on Eric Opoku and then NDC members. That story is on page 4 inside the Finder newspaper. That's it for the paper, Roland?
Yeah, I have this one. I have the Ghanaian Times. So just quickly do is about the GRA capturing taxpayers. We're told over 1 million. I should be among the 1,090,000. Yeah. It's still insignificant.
Oh, but there's
talking about the word insignificance.
Some of us do have it, except that we don't know we have the tin. So I think the number to check will be really good.
No, you're part of the 1 million then, if you think.
No, but I'm saying that some of us may have tin, but we may not know we do.
Why not?
You get it?
Well, because your tax returns are filed by the company.
They've withheld. Some people have done withholding tax. So I know I have a tin. I should have a tin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we have that story. 2018 WASI is taking off. We're told that they started with the practicals.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It started with the practicals.
So we have 5 Chinese, 4 Ghanaians convicted for polluting the river and Cobra. And we know it's all related to Galamsey. Good morning to you, Latif Idris. You were a main man on Operation Vanguard.
Yeah.
Ghana urged to position ports for more traffic from Niger.
Only for the police to come and, overturn that cloud that's, with what they did to you at the CID headquarters.
Well, speedy recovery, Latif Idris. But
yesterday we heard that the IGP had asked PIPS to look into the matter. So.
All right. So that way, you have some paper?
The Daily Dispatch, that's the last hardcore newspaper, and then we'll quickly dash online to look at what the online portals are reporting. The Daily Dispatch, battle for NDC's 2020 slot. Will it be JDM, Mensa, Spio, Alabi, or Bagbin? Have I seen the story before? Health warning to all. Tramadol abuse effect is like having Ebola or Lassa fever. That's the warning that's been coming. Okay, this is on page 11. Where's
Tremor,
page 11?
Tremor.
Yeah.
You know the short name, the parlance that they use in the ghettos is called Tremor.
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 But people don't listen, people don't listen. So Dr. Yao Nfojo says tramadol has become almost a street drag. A mental health expert has called for urgent action to discontinue the increasing abuse of strong pain reliever, tramadol, which has become very popular among the public, particularly the youth. And the danger is people are mixing it with all sorts of things. People are taking it when they are really not curing anything. They just want to get high. And they say, at least the experts in this story is saying that the effect is like having Ebola or Lassa fever. So you have to be cautious. They've been saying, you alone, you say you don't hear, you haven't heard. Debbie. Yeah. Let's do some of your messages. It's 45 minutes after 6. Let's do messages. This one says, Azindo, Charlie, you go me in credit. I can't even read the message.
So you look suave.
Azindo in Tamale, thank you very much for the lovely message that you sent me. That has confused me. This one, Edem in Asankregwa. What is the importance of the documentary? Who killed the judges? Okay, when the details are shared, you know. I don't want to go ahead of what we're bringing to you. Amos from Volta in Quanta South District says today is my birthday. Well, happy birthday to you, Amos. Amos from Volta in Quanta South District. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy your day today. This one says good morning to you all for the good work you're doing. It certainly is from Abdullah Abdul Razak General in Lamashigu in Tamale, sending us this message. Here's another one that says, I want to wish my chief Pembura in the So Bismarck Huruna, the paramount chief of Pembura traditional area. We prayed. Okay, I hope I got it right. Please read it.
The Pembura is the name of the chief. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that it? Did I get it right?
Of the Pembura traditional.
Okay, so it's your birthday, sir. Happy birthday to you. That message coming through.
As you look for the next, I have this one to the daughter of a good friend of mine, Mr. Okwabi. Ni lives in Tema. Works with MPS. It says, Roland, it's been a long time. Yeah, it's been a long time, Ni. I want you to wish my lovely daughter, Benedicta Mami Okwabi, a happy birthday. She turns 11 today. Good morning to you and happy birthday to you, sweet Benedicta. I hope that you continue to focus on your books, watch a lot of toys, but play in the open as well. You're a kid, so enjoy the time.
11, she's a big girl. She's growing. Happy birthday to you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Patrick from Sunyang sending us a message saying that we're looking natural. Thank you very much, Patrick in Sunyang, for the message. Here's 2 more. And then we have to go over the telephone line, speak to Erastus Asaridonko. He broke a story that made huge headlines about sex scandal situation where allegedly some, if you like, teachers, administrative staff were sleeping with schoolgirls. Well, a committee subsequently was set up to look into this matter. And we're told, maybe because Erastus did this story, the report is out somehow, not exactly, but we've laid hands on it. We want to cross-check with our colleague Erastus Asaridonko, who's joining us, and then we'll come back to some more of your messages. So the special committee set up by the Ghana Education Service to investigate allegations of sexual misconduct against some teachers at the Jusuman Senior High School has found 8 of them guilty of inappropriate sexual advances on the student. Erastus Asaridonko, good morning to you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank your hair so much. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Please say it again so that Roland can hear.
Your hair is just fantastic.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
What about me? What do you... No.
Roland, I beg. I think what is even more fantastic...
Erastus, you don't say anything good.
Roland.
Maybe my tie or my breast kerchief.
Roland.
This is not fair, is it?
Roland, if the thing is nice, he would naturally say
but I said yesterday.
If it's not.
Nice.
You didn't. Erastus, I think what is even more fantastic is the work that you did that resulted in the committee being set up to look into this matter. I remember when you came to Accra working on your documentary, we discussed this Ejusman issue. But we're told we have intercepted a certain report. What can you tell us about it?
Exactly. This is a copy of the report from the Ejusman theft scandal. And we've been waiting for it for a very long time indeed. And somehow we were able to intercept a copy of it. And so I'm holding a copy right now, and I know you have a copy as well. But if I go into it, so the names of the teachers who were implicated and invited before the committee per what the students came out to say, they are 9 in number. We have the social studies tutor housemaster, Henry Ajiman Ahmed. We have the Andrew Du Asabre, visual arts. We have Moses Asma, principal accountant. Boafo Isaac, integrated science. Osei Murphy, ICT tutor. Baba Sando, geography housemaster. Frank Bedu Sampene, biology. Amoku Mensa Emmanuel, integrated science. And Isaac Ampuma, physical education instructor. And I'm interested with the last one, the physical education instructor. If you remember, it came that some of the students I interviewed on the side of the committee's work indicated that this particular tutor asked them to stroke his manhood and in traffic, in broad daylight. And the student did so because she said she was afraid, and he ejaculated in the hands of the student. Quite dirty incident there. So some of these are captured in the report in here. So this is how it goes. It narrates, it gives us who appeared before the committee at what time. I'm referring to the students. And then they give you what the third tutor, his response to the allegations. It gives you that. And then it gives you recommendations, what the committee thinks after it also did its checks. So let me start with this one. And it says this particular student, I'm not mentioning the name, is a Form 3 student, and she stays at the Jeso new site. One day, Mr. Andrew Edua Sabre, also known as Prospero, he says, waved her from Mr. Murphy, that's the tutor, a tutor at the Jesuman's car, when they were passing. The next time, the two tutors were passing whilst I was in my mother's shop along the main road. And then they called me, and I attended to their call. Mr. Murphy told me that he has not seen me in the school before. On that day, I was in my school uniform at my mom's shopping place. He told me to look for him when I come to school, but I did not. Later, Mr. Murphy sent a student to call me at the library block. I went to the place to meet him, and there he said he liked me, but I laughed over it. Somewhere in December 2017, Mr. Murphy called me and asked if I would agree to his proposal, but I disagreed. And one day, Mr. Murphy took my friend Anita Mensah, took my friend and I to a place to refresh us with lunch. And when we got to Hideout Pub and Guest House, the place was not open. When we moved to Jinapi's Guest House, that's on New Road, at the place, I followed Mr. Murphy to a room, and my friend also followed Mr. Edua Sabre to another room. We spent 30 minutes, 1 hour, at the guest house, but no sexual intercourse happened, even though Mr. Murphy asked for sex. And so it goes on to tell us what Mr. Murphy's response was. And this is what he said. He said a friend called him from Accra that he should look for a lodging place for him. He said that he was accompanied by Mr. Andrew Edua Sabre, also known as Prospero, to Davian Hotel near Spiritan University College. He told the committee that he did not like the place. He said that his friend, Mr. Andrew, told him to check another lodging place called Hideout Pub and Guest House. On their way to the place, he saw the two female students, and precisely near Jusso roundabout. The two teachers asked these female students where they were going and what they were doing out of the school premises whilst inter-houses competition of the school was underway. Mr. Murphy Osei informed the committee that the two female students told him and his friend they were going to get some food to buy. He said he did not believe the student's story, so he and his friend asked them to get into their car. So he told the committee that they drove to Hideout Pub and Guest House, but it was not in operation at the time of their visit. They moved to the other guest houses, to their rooms, checked in and took some Malta Guinness. And then this, according to Mr. Murphy, occurred for about 5 minutes. And on returning to the school, they dropped the 2 female students at some eating place near a Joso government hospital called Aponchechi. The female students were given 20 Ghana cedis and 30 Ghana cedis by the 2 male teachers and asked the students to be in school within 30 minutes. So they left the students there at the eating place. So the committee concludes this way. It says that Mr. Murphy Osei admitted that he took the student in company of a male teacher to the Hideout Pub and Guest House, respectively. He admitted that he was followed by a female student to a room at Jinapi's Guest House. In the candid view of the committee, Mr. Murphy demonstrated clear intention of making love to the female student by taking her out of the school to Jinapi and Hideout Guest House. And so they recommended that he appeared before the disciplinary committee. So it goes on and on like that with every student and her account and the response by the teacher. And in many of the cases, the teachers admitted. In one of the instances where the teacher kissed one of the students, according to the report, the student said that the teacher kissed her without any provocation or any arrangement. She was surprised. The teacher's response was that in the report he said he did not kiss her, but he wanted to headbutt the student. And so he moved his head closer to the student. And so
Erastus, I see that this is very detailed because this is a 38-page document.
Yeah.
But beyond the recommendations, what are you getting would happen to these teachers? What is going to happen to the students as well?
Well, Mama B, what is happening right now that I know is that the disciplinary committee of the GES have started their work. Indeed, they started last week. And the students have been invited just like they were invited to appear before the committee. So it's just like a repetition of what the committee did back there. But this one involves a number of panels from the social welfare, from the police, from other state institutions, constituting the panel.
But Erastus, I don't get something here. This was a committee that was set up to look into this matter. What would another committee be doing? I thought they just have to go ahead and act on the recommendations that's been given. Why should the students appear again and tell their stories again over and over and over again?
Again, that is my worry as well, and the worry of many who have been calling. In fact, some parents have been calling me to express their reservations about this arrangement. Because one, all these students, if you look at their ages and their forms, they are in the final year writing the current ongoing exams. So it's a burden. If you speak with the students, they tell you that it's a burden when they are about writing exams and they have to come before a committee. The pressure, the everything in there is a bother. And this is not different from the committee's work. It's just a committee. You come before it, you tell your story just like you told the first committee, and then they bring the teacher in for a response, and it goes on and on and on.
Erastus, we have to find time and talk about this in detail, but let's finish off with the Nkoswahine, because there were some recommendations also. The Nkoswahine of Ejuso, Nana Kofi Poku, who they say he shouldn't step foot on the compound of the school unless they've agreed for him to. What exactly did he do in all these?
If you know, many of the students who came before the committee for some strange reasons decided to confide in the Nkoswahine rather than the school authorities. I asked them why, and they told me that some of them have complained to the school authorities, but nothing has been done. They rather became victims. And so they were told by some of the students who live close to the Nkoswahine's place that this is a man, if you complain to, you will get results with your complaint. And so why don't we go confide in him? So if you realize, many of the students who came before the committee had already spoken to the Nkoswahene. Some of them, he even coached them, if I should say, on how to get evidence to support their case. And so that is what the authorities did not like, that they felt that he was intruding into their cases. They've made several allegations that he goes to the dormitory and all that. He has denied that he has ever stepped foot in the dormitory. He himself, I spoke with him yesterday, he said he has some reservations about the committee's work and the findings, and at the appropriate time, he will be willing to also speak to it. So that is the reason that I think recommendations were made that he doesn't have to step foot in the school.
Erastus, we'll sit down properly and digest what's contained in this report that we've intercepted. You've done a great job. We want to see to the end of this. I totally disagree with another committee that's inviting these same people to come and testify, if you like, because there are emotions in here. For a young girl to be brave enough to recall and give an account of something uncomfortable that has happened to her, and for her to repeat that again to another panel, it's uncalled for. And I don't see the need in a committee being set up to look into this matter, give recommendations, and then another disciplinary committee go ahead and act. That's what we expect. So Erastus, I'll definitely come back to you. We will talk about this matter. It's not ending anytime soon, but thank you for the great job and keep following this matter.
Thank you very much. And I tell Raymond I like his tie.
And my name is Roland.
See,
Roland,
when you force things, that's what happens. You don't like the tie, yeah. Thanks, Erastus. Erastus Asaridonko is our colleague with Love FM in Kumasi, and he shared details of this Ejusuman sex scandal with us. Spoke to various students. They gave accounts of what some of the teachers apparently were doing to them. A committee was set up by the GES to investigate the allegations of sexual misconduct, and we've intercepted the report, and you know, Erastus was sharing some details of it. It's a 38-page report. We will keep telling you what is contained in that report in the course of our programming here on Joy News all through the day today. Roland, it's 1 minute after 7. We couldn't do online.
Yeah, we couldn't do online, and we have to get ready for sports because today is a Wednesday. We have VM business as always.
Definitely.
But there's one thing that when you were doing that interview with the Rastos that came up, especially in this day of social media and the names being bandied around of these young girls, they haven't really started life.
No.
And they are just in their formative years. So I don't know whether we have to make sure we...
No, what we are doing...
what
we are doing as Joy News is not to put any names out there, so...
Yeah. And I know once the report, even though Interceptor is shared around, it means that it becomes a big problem. I hope the media will play the gatekeeping role adequately so that we make sure we do what is right by the girls. All
right, definitely more to come in the course of our programming here on Joy News. We thank you for all the messages. There's somebody watching in the UK. You didn't include your name. Please add your name when you send us a message. But essentially, you're saying you're enjoying the show. So we thank you. Keep the messages flowing. We've got AM business coming up. But first, we have to bring you sports. There was Champions League action, and everybody's talking about Ronaldo. We're going to relive those goals, and the team is here. So sports is up next. You don't want to miss any bit of it.